What's up, everybody, and welcome to Neek, the Pull List Podcast, episode 2. Again, this is our new show about what Josh and I have picked up either at our local comic book shops or online. As always, don't forget to check us out on all the social media: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Snapchat, probably not, but we'll get there eventually. My name is Ray, you know me, but with me, as always, our demon sour cream, Raish Al-Fini. My partner in comic book crime, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic, Ray. It's been a really good week to be a comic book fan. And not just, we have some excellent books to talk about, but Deadpool came out this week. Mm-hmm. The final Batman versus Superman trailer came out, which got me ridiculously hyped when I haven't been that hyped. Legends Tomorrow is doing really good. Flash had an amazing episode.
Oh my God, the Flash!
So it's been such a good week. Like, it's almost too much to process in the last few days.
It's just, yeah, you're right. It's just like, I'm kind of on cloud 9 with our hobby. I love it. Like, our passion is in a good place right now.
This has been great. I don't know a single day that's gone by this week that Ray and I have not talked about comic books.
That's 100% true, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So if you're watching the YouTube video, I'm kind of elusive manned out right now. And that's only because I'm sitting really close to the window today. I'm recording the show from my laptop today because I wanted to try it out, see how it did. And so far, so good. Yeah, I love it. So I think Josh and I, we both have 4 books to talk about this week. Like 4 piece, right?
Yeah, we're kind of sharing one of the books.
Yeah, we're gonna share one book because it was amazing.
It was just that good.
Yeah, we love it so much. But Josh, you go ahead and get started. Where'd you pick up your books this week, and what'd you pick up?
I picked up my books at the same store I always go to, the store I've been frequenting for several years now for collectibles and comics. Wild West Comics in Arlington, and I got 3 picks here. I've got 2 Marvel and I've got an indie. The first one we're going to talk about is this week was the 25th anniversary of our favorite Merc with a Mouth, Deadpool. So he had a giant supersized issue, like 100 pages.
Good God, that's a lot of Deadpool.
It was a lot of Deadpool. I haven't bought Deadpool comics individually ever. I got this because it was like, oh, it's the 25th anniversary. I think the only one I've ever bought before was The Wedding of Deadpool, which was a really cool issue if you never read it. I got it for like 99 cents on a dollar rack sale.
It was 99 cents. Sorry.
This is really cool because it's like some of the past compendiums they've done of Deadpool. They had one, not just The Wedding of Deadpool, but they had one last year that was a $10 issue. Well, this was $10.
Oh, wow. You spent $10?
I spent $10. Didn't really look through the book because I was like, it's 96 pages. I'll get it. I haven't really read any Deadpool. Kind of want to support it a little bit. Mm-hmm. There's a Deadpool story continuing on with the narrative of it's issue 7 of the new run. And then there's 6 stories in the back, though, because Deadpool has like 7 ongoing series right now.
Right.
The Mercs for Money is his brand new one. So there's 6 mini stories that take up most of the issue. And each story is about one of the Mercs on his team. Mm-hmm. The Mercs with Money. So some of those were good. They were really hit and miss for me. It's not my favorite pickup though. Last week I was super high on all my pickups. I kind of pride myself on only picking up good things. Kind of did this on a whim. Heard really good things about Deadpool. I wasn't overly impressed. Maybe if you're a big Deadpool fan, you will be, or if you're reading several of the new books. It's still a good jumping on point, especially for the Mercs with Money.
I love that tagline.
It's a really funny cover. Like the cover that I saw in the store. It's like him throwing money in the air and jumping around. But the cover art is so cool. I really like it. The attention to detail is awesome. The artwork, of course, in it is very good. Each story has its own artwork. And Jerry Dugan is still writing Deadpool, so doing a very good job with the character. I think maybe this issue would have been much better if I was a bigger fan of the character. But this is kind of my pickup that I did on a whim. So I wouldn't say worth $10, but if it ever goes down to like $5 on a sale, get it. It's good. It's a good pickup for $5, not for $10.
Okay, I got you. So I don't know. I probably won't pick that one up. Mostly because like I like Deadpool, but I don't. I like him like we talked about before. I like him with other people.
Right. Deadpool is very much a character like I can only stand him for so long on himself, and it has to be the exact right writer and scenario. Like his arc in Secret Invasion, he was key to that whole thing.
Right.
He was key to the resolution of that, and then subsequently accidentally starting Dark Reign.
Mm,
He was the whole reason that Norman Osborn was able to do that. So the character's gone through a lot of different incarnations. Different writers do him injustices or justices, however you want to look at it. But Dugan's been on it for quite a while. He does good. Deadpool exceeds when he's part of an ensemble cast, though. That's why I think Mercs with Money is going to be, or Mercs for Money, whatever it is going to be a better series than the solo Deadpool now.
right. Okay.
Even in Uncanny Avengers, he's the best person on the team.
Oh,
So
I believe that.
yeah, it's a terrible book, but he's the best person. So take that for what it is.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good stuff. Sure the Deadpool fans appreciate that kind of stuff. So my first pick for this week, it's not even like because I'm not even current on this book, but it's a book that you should be reading if you're not reading already. Now that Secret Wars is over,
I know where we're going with this.
Invincible Iron Man. Be reading this book. Not only because, of course, it's going to tie into our future Civil War 2. Yeah, we'll get there, whatever. But this book is the art is gorgeous. I love the art in these books. Like so good. Like I didn't even expect it for an Iron Man book. It's like everybody's so slick. The armor looks great. All the faces look like faces. I don't know. It's just they're spending a lot of time on this book.
Yeah, for sure. I don't mean to cut you off. It makes sense though why it's being pushed as one of the big titles out of Marvel's relaunch of the universe. Out of all different Marvel, this and Avengers are at the forefront of everything right now. And another series that we're going to get to a little bit down the line in the show. Kind of makes up the triumvirate of flagship Marvel titles right now.
Yeah,
and I have not enjoyed an Iron Man as much as I have this. And it's from Bendis, so I was really skeptical on how it was going to go because I don't like what he's done with the Guardians or anything like that. This is the most I've enjoyed Iron Man since Matt Fraction wrote him years ago.
But yeah, this is Bendis, and Bendis is he's doing a lot of books right now, but they're all so different, but they're also fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. This is a really good pickup. It's a different Tony Stark than you know. I know we talked about that last week. Mm-hmm. Seriously, it's a completely different Tony Stark. It's even different from the MCU Tony Stark.
Right. But that's why I like it so much.
Right. It's like you associate Robert Downey Jr. with the role so much that you really feel like you're reading him on the page. Mm-hmm. It's very good. He's still got the classic Tony snark, but he's mellowed out an awful lot.
He has, and that has to do with a lot of stuff that's happened to Tony. So yeah, I want you to read this book to find out about why. But yeah, it's David Marquez that's doing the art for this, and God, it's so good. So great. But I didn't even mention. So this week I picked up my books at a different store. I was actually out of town. We had a very impromptu wedding to go to last minute up in Lawrence, Kansas. And I was like, well, it's Wednesday. I have to get my comic books. And we were out and it was early. So I was like, why not try out a new place? And so I got on Google and found Astro Kitty in Lawrence, Kansas. Like, I just didn't know what to expect because, you know, that's the first time I've been out of town that I decided to go to a comic book store. And so, yeah, when the Astro Kitty, it's in the same building as a Game Nut, which is a game store. So the bottom floor is a game store. The top floor is a comic book shop. And,
it's a nightmare for my wallet.
Oh, yes, it was scary walking through. Rachel, like we were walking through, I was walking through with Rachel, and she was looking at me like, we're going to the comic store. Keep walking to the comic store. I was like, okay. So we get up there, and it's a really nice space. Dude, I think it was Joel. I met Joel, who owns Astro Kitty. Super nice dude. I asked him about an indie book that I should be reading because we have a new section now where we talk about an indie book, and he recommended one, and just really nice guy, like really nice space. So definitely, if you're in Kansas and in Lawrence, check out Astro Kitty. They're really nice folks. But beyond that, Invincible Iron Man, great stuff. Like I really don't want to I'll give it another week before I start kind of like saying things that happened in Secret Wars that are now like in the Marvel universe. Because there's a really big one in Iron Man where it's like, what?
Yeah.
So next week,
in fact, in issue number 1.
yes, in issue number 1, which, like we talked about last week, Josh and I read before Secret Wars ended. And we're just freaking out because of what happened. So next week, I hate to say it, but I'm probably going to spoil it next week because I want to talk about it now. So
yeah, it's been a proper amount of time.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Invincible Iron Man. That's my number 1 book. Not my number 1, but the first book I want to talk about this week. So Josh, what's number 2 for you?
Right on. Number 2 for me. I'm going to keep going with Marvel. I'm going to go back to a series that I talked about last week. I picked up issue number 1 on a whim. Really enjoyed it. It's one of the very first issue number 1s where I'm like, I have to have issue 2 right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'll talk about Old Man Logan, of course.
Oh yes.
The art is phenomenal in this book. Sorrentino does the art. Very, very well done. And Jeff Lemire, excuse me, is the one who writes it.
Okay.
It's very good. It's Old Man Logan post Secret Wars. Of course, we all knew he came back into the mainstream universe. He still, he's dealing with visions of what was going on in his realm of Battle World, essentially. He never really ventured out of that until the very end of the Old Man Logan book in Secret Wars. They don't reference any of that, though, at least not right now. I'm sure they will before long. In this one, though, I mean, just from the cover art, he's trying to track down the Hulk. Okay. If you've read the original Old Man Logan story, you know that the Hulks control a lot of things. And so he's trying to find Bruce Banner, attacks the Hulk thinking it's Banner, and it's Amadeus Cho. It's a very interesting fight because I haven't read anything of Cho yet.
And I was just saying that. Like one of us needs, I think I'm gonna pick it up today.
I hadn't picked it up because I hadn't heard, I hadn't heard fantastic things about it.
I haven't heard anything about it, and that's weird. So I haven't heard anything about Amadeus Cho.
I got really excited for this though because it's a different Hulk. It's kind of keeping in theme with Doc Green that we saw just before Secret Wars. It's a Hulk that's conscious, with whoever it is that is the Hulk. So in this case, it's Amadeus Cho talking to Logan during their fight. It's very interesting. It's not just like, oh, I'm gonna beat the ever living shit out of everything. It's very well done. I mean, the panels, like, that's an example of what the panels are if you're watching this. It's very well done. I like it. I like the penciling. It's probably my favorite art I've ever had in a comic. I'd even go that far because it feels like you're reading a graphic novel, but it's an individual issue. It's a bi-weekly comic, so we're getting it every 2 weeks. Makes me think this will not be a long series. If they're pumping it out as fast as they are. Makes me a little worried because this is far and away my favorite solo book, I think. It's tied with another one, but it's up there. It's one of my favorite solo books right now in the relaunch. It does have a parental advisory on it. You have to be 17 to buy it. And that's because it's very bloody. Like, there's blood everywhere.
Well,
yeah. It's pissed off old Logan chopping everything up with his claws. Very, very, very well done. It was an effective way to bring Logan into the Marvel universe after the Death of Wolverine arc without it being Logan himself.
Right, because I like the new Wolverine just fine anyway.
I haven't picked it up yet. I have not picked up All New Wolverine.
We'll be talking about that next week.
Heard great things about All New Wolverine, though. I'm not a Wolverine lover. I've made it abundantly clear on the main Neek show. I was ready for him to go. Death of Wolverine, I thought was a great idea, even though it was executed very poorly.
I got those shiny comic book covers, though.
Old Man Logan, though, makes me want to invest into this character again.
Yep. So
I get really excited. There's a tease in this though that I didn't know was coming. It's not related to the issue. It's related to something upcoming that Marvel hadn't even announced, as far as I know.
Really?
It's a new Adam Warlock story.
Oh!
The Infinity Entity #1, an all-new epic following the events of Thanos, the Infinity Relativity.
Okay. Well, we know a certain somebody who will be very excited.
Yes. And I mean, that looks awesome.
It does. Wow, I did not know about that.
It looks like it's classic Thor, Wasp, Ant-Man, Hulk, and Iron Man. That is the Mark I Iron Man suit, people,
Oh
on
my.
that cover. So I'm really excited to see what happens with this.
Huh. Okay.
So that's yeah, that's Old Man Logan.
Yep.
You need to be reading this. If you
Uh,
appreciate good art, you need to be picking up Old Man Logan for the art alone, but the writing can be a little bit hard to follow if you don't know where he comes from. If you've never read the original Old Man Logan, I'd recommend reading that and the 4 issues that were done during Secret Wars to really get a good grip on what's happening. 'Cause I was a little lost, went back and read those 4 issues, like, oh, boom, I know what's happening now.
Okay.
I'm good. It's very much a continuation of the original Old Man Logan, though. There's flashbacks to that time period. It's very good, very, very good.
All right. Well, I might have to go pick that up today too. I'm spending a lot of money this weekend. So anyway, well, I guess my second book. This is one that Josh turned me on to last week. Did not expect to love this book as much as I did because I think that it is currently my favorite book that I'm reading. Period. And that's the new, as of 2015, The Ultimates. Oh my Jesus! This is with Al Ewing, Kenneth Rockerford, and Dan Brown. Oh my God! So this is a team. It's my love and savior T'Challa, Black Panther, Spectrum, Blue Marvel, who is God. I need more Blue Marvel in my life. Oh my God! I was so mad when I was like, why? You know what? Why don't I have more Blue Marvel in my life? It's like, oh, because Marvel isn't giving it to me. Anyway, Miss America, who is, oh my God, don't tell my wife. I love this woman. Oh my God, Miss America's amazing. And of course, the other badass, the ever lovely Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers. Oh my God, that team alone, Josh, just the names.
It's very exciting. I mean, I remember when the titles and the covers for issue 1s got leaked actually, like last September. We had no idea what this book was going to be about, who was even in it, because the cover really didn't give it away.
Right.
And I picked up issue 1 on a whim a couple of months ago and didn't think anything of it. It really isn't. Issue 1 isn't that great if you read it on its own. You need to read the first couple issues really to get into the story, I think. Unless you know all of these characters, which I didn't. I only knew Captain Marvel and Black Panther going into this.
I knew of all of them. I just hadn't read it.
I knew of Blue Marvel. He was in he was in Mighty Avengers last year.
Okay.
He was in Mighty Avengers prior to Secret Wars for a couple of issues. That's where I knew him from. But the other two, Miss America and it'll hit me.
Spectrum.
Yeah. I did not know them at all.
Yeah.
This is the cosmic book that we've wanted for so long. Yeah. This is a cosmic Avengers team, effectively.
And it's one of the most diverse casts outside of the regular Avengers team now, which is ridiculous.
It really is. It's a fantastic. I mean, issues 1 and 2, because that's all Ray's read. I think is issues 1 and 2.
I have right now. I'm going to get 3 or 4 days.
Those are already. It's jaw dropping by the end of issue 2.
Jaw dropping, because they literally change one of the most constant things in the Marvel universe. Completely change it, and it's a huge thing. I'm not kidding you. It's ridiculous.
No, the effects of this will be felt throughout the universe.
Yes, like going forward, I hope, because it completely changes one constant threat. And I had no idea that this is something that they wanted to do with this book. And I'm like, if this is what they're doing with this series, is literally changing the Marvel universe from the cosmic side down. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I was like,
I think we both agree. It's very, very, very well done.
Yeah, I love the writing. It's a little highbrow. I think that's the word I was looking for earlier when I was talking to you about this, Josh. The writing is a little highbrow. They use a lot of fake science, but
yeah, for sure,
it's really cool fake science, like really cool. And geez, Black Panther in this he's a whole different level of hero. Now it's ridiculous.
Yeah, don't read this unless you've read issue 9 of Secret Wars.
Yes, please read Secret Wars before you read this book.
That will make this make infinitely more sense. I think that's why I did not like Ultimates #1, because that came out before the end of Secret Wars.
Yep, it came out. They both came out in 2015. So that's why I am now just now picking up a bunch of the 2015 books because I was very adamant about not reading these books until after I finished Secret Wars. But now that we're here, oh my God, yeah, Ultimates is probably my favorite book right now, mostly because it's just I don't know, that change was just fantastic. Holy crap!
Yeah, it's very radical how things change in this book. Ray and I were talking about this before the show. Panther's actions in this book are they're of superiority.
Yes,
and
very bold.
He's been a very bold character since the end of Avengers versus X-Men, if not before that.
Oh yeah, yes.
Definitely before that, but that's when it kind of came to the forefront of the whole universe. And then the dealings with the Incursions, trying to strand Namor on the planet. Panther and Black Bolt basically tried to kill Namor, and that didn't work at all.
No.
And this is where it really builds off the end of the epilogue in Secret Wars 9 is where this book really builds from. I want to know how he gets to this point. We both really think that the solo series coming is going to deal with a lot of that also.
Right. There's literally like maybe 2 panels in the Secret Wars 9 book that kind of, if you don't read those, you'd have no idea, but they give you an idea of that. Yeah, this is where that came from.
Now Ray has an interesting idea of where no pun intended, where Ultimates and Black Panther himself are going to lead us down the line with the whole universe.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Do you want me to give that away now? Or you want me to keep that in my pocket for a bit? Oh no.
Oh no, I think we'll keep it in our pocket a little bit. I want to get through a couple more issues before we discuss that.
Exactly. I think so too. Because
you have a tease. You have a tease, people.
There is a tease, but I have a really good theory about what happens with Black Panther and the universe going forward. Anyway, so I guess this next book we're both doing in tandem. Because this is Josh's favorite book so far.
Yes. It's only got 1 issue, and it's my favorite.
1 issue, and it was a damn good issue. Like damn good. Spider-Man #1. Miles Morales. Miles is back. Oh my.
Yeah. This was awesome. I'm so happy that Miles Morales is the primary Spider-Man right now. Yes. We saw Peter running around as Amazing Spider-Man, but the actual Spider-Man book is Miles Morales. And it is awesome.
It's the Spider-Man I want right now. Like straight up 100% the Spider-Man I want right now.
I read this issue and decided I'm not picking up Amazing anymore. Not that I dislike Peter Parker. Peter Parker's always going to be my boy.
Yeah,
but
Peter Parker's great. He's just in a different space now.
This is the Spider-Man book that I want. Spider-Man as a teenager, running around, trying to balance his life, school, girls, and
but his family,
world-ending threats.
Yeah.
His family is such an important dynamic to this book, and especially with his in wake of episode 9 or issue 9 of issue 9 of Secret Wars is key to this.
Yes, it's key to the entire universe now.
Yeah, you really do have to have finished. I would say issue 9 of Secret Wars and even Ultimate and #5 both need to be read to fully understand what's happening in this first issue.
Yeah, what happened.
Just dive. You can just dive into this. I want to make that clear. You can dive into it, but it'll make a lot more sense.
Well, you'll feel better about knowing the connected parts, but you literally can't just jump right into this book and you don't really have to know anything about Miles to jump into this book.
It'll make it a lot more enjoyable for you.
Yes, because it's a Spider-Man and it's a great Spider-Man book. But this is Bendis is writing this one too, and Pichelli is the artist on this one, and she's also phenomenal. So,
oh man, the cover art for issue 2 has me so hype.
I have not seen it. I'm probably just not gonna wait. I'm just not gonna look at it and just wait until the book comes out.
It's teased at the end of issue 1. It's just so.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh, it's such an amazing shot.
It's really like this book. I guess we could talk about the book a little bit. I guess
it's an issue 1.
Yeah, it's an issue 1. So it's you literally pick up with Miles Morales as a teenager, in high school. Well, actually, you don't pick up with that.
No cheeseburgers in his pockets this time that we know of.
Well, that's just he should always take one of those because it saved his damn life. But anyway, but I'm gonna skip kind of like the first parts of the book because that's something that people should actually read. But yeah, it picks up with Miles being a regular teenager, arguing with a girl who he stood up, because he was off being Spider-Man. But of course, you can't tell a girl that you're being Spider-Man, and that's why you stood him up because then she probably wouldn't even understand still. But then, you got his best friend. His best friend, by the way,
It's fantastic.
should be everybody's best friend. This dude is so chill. It's so awesome.
Reminiscent of when I was reading it. It really reminded me of Michael Pena from Ant-Man.
Yes.
That's all I could think of.
But he's such a cool dude. Like, how would you pronounce his name?
Oh God, I don't even know. I was trying to figure that out myself. I don't have the book in front of me, so
Genki. I don't know. But Ganke. Love this kid. Like they're great. Like they're perfect together, which is really good. Yeah. I really like the two of them together. Like he's kind of like Miles's his conscience almost, which is really good. He's because Miles feels bad because he's like, oh, I'm off being Spider-Man, and school is really hard, but I really like girls. But Spider-Man being Spider-Man is really hard. He's like, why don't you go for somebody else? He's like, and then he brings up like Bombshell. He's like, I'm not going out with Bombshell. He's like, that's like almost my sister. It's hilarious. It's really good stuff. But then then his parents get like he's having trouble in school because of course he's Spider-Man, and his parents are upset with him, or his mom's upset with him, and his dad's like, it'll be okay. Which I love this because Miles Morales is a black superhero with two parents.
Right.
He's got parents, like parents. Not just one, not no hashtag dead parents. He's got parents. And
Miles' relationship with his dad, even though we just get a small tease of it in this, is so important.
And it's so real. Like,
because his father knows.
Yes.
His father knows. He's in on this, and he's just like he's telling his wife, don't worry about it. It's all good.
Right. He's like, my boy's doing the good. He's doing the good work. So yeah, like the only two people who know that Miles is Spider-Man is his dad and his best friend. By the way, besides all the other heroes, but still, there are only two people in his life that knows, and that's why that was a huge moment. Like that was fantastic. I love it. But this book, it just goes on to play out like what a teenage Spider-Man should. And I'm not gonna lie, the scene at the end.
The end panel is just fantastic.
Well, the one before that.
Okay.
He's like, I hope people are filming this.
Yeah.
Yes. One of my favorite things in a long time.
The fight that they throw him into, though, it's just I was very surprised they did that for his first book, for his very first issue.
I'm not talking about like just a regular fight. This is a huge fight that he just gets thrown into all of a sudden. It's like, okay, well, all of the Avengers are here. I'm not going to tell you in what capacity they're in there in, but like, yeah, all of the Avengers are there, and they're in this big throwdown, and Miles is just all of a sudden in the middle of it. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was very well done, especially for our first issue. I was kind of afraid of how this series was going to play out with so many Spider books right now. I mean, you have Amazing Spider-Man, you have Spider-Man, Spider-Gwen, Web Warrior, Spider-Man 2099. I'm sure I'm missing a couple in there.
No, that's okay.
Spidey.
This was my favorite.
There's just so many. This stands out among the pack as the best of the best, and that's saying a lot. Saying that this is better than Dan Slott's Spider-Man, which is also great.
Yes.
I
have a bias for Bendis. He's one of my favorites, like absolute favorites.
This has been a line that Bendis has always accelerated with. Ultimate Spider-Man was the best line in any of the Ultimate comics, bar none. With Peter Parker, and then when they introduced Miles Morales, it was the best comic. It was consistently the reason to read Ultimate was for Bendis' Spider-Man. Yes. And I'm so happy that this continues the same tone.
Yeah, and
it's even better. It's better in my opinion.
But I don't know. I just wasn't expecting what it is. I remember you saying that you were really excited for it, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a go. And goddamn, do I love that book.
I was really excited because Miles Morales is one of the more interesting characters to me right now.
He is, and because he's a character,
There's so much potential with this kid, and that's why I don't have a problem whenever like we have Jane Foster is Thor, or we have, and so Thor is now Odinson, or we have Amadeus Cho as Hulk, even though I think that experiment's failing. We have Old Man Logan as Wolverine. You have Falcon, or Sam Wilson and Steve Rogers both running around as Captain Americas. I don't have a problem with any of this because I think that the way they're handling it for 90% of them have been so good. I mean, there was a little bit of outcry when Miles Morales was originally announced as Spider-Man in the wake of Death of Ultimate Peter Parker.
A little bit? There was so much for no reason.
See, I didn't really pay attention to it. I wasn't super into the comics at that point. I was picking up the trades as they came out. I never saw a problem with it. I thought it was really interesting. It was like, oh, okay. Well, it's not like they went and killed 616 Peter Parker. Calm down, people. Okay, but that was kind of the first indication they're going to bring him into the main universe. He was so well received after his first issue that I even said, I was like, they can kill everybody else from the Ultimate Universe. Keep him and Nick Fury alive, please. I've gotten one of my wishes.
Yep, that's all I want.
Very, very good, especially after the disaster that was Ultimatum, bringing in Miles Morales. It's been so good. It pretty much picks up where he left off with Secret Wars.
I can't wait to see where this book goes. I can't.
Yeah.
Wait. So
they're making this one of their flagship books as well.
Good.
They're pushing it very hard right now. Marvel is pushing, all different Avengers. Of course, Avengers will always be pushed. Invincible Iron Man and Miles Morales right now. Black Panther is going to be the fourth one that they really push. We're seeing a ton of marketing for Black Panther. We've been hearing about it for about 7 or 8 months now. That's going to be an amazing book.
Everybody that I've talked to that's in the comics, comic vein, everybody is looking forward to this Panther book because there's so much hype behind it.
Tanishi Coates just going to be amazing.
So I'm really hoping so. I'm counting on you, Tanishi. I need this book to be fantastic.
Yeah.
So we'll get there.
Do we want to get into our indie picks of the week?
Yeah, let's get into our indie picks. How about you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. This one is from Image. First off, I don't really buy indie comics because indie comics, this isn't to be negative, can be super hit or super miss.
Oh yeah,
and it's hard for me to get into a comic that doesn't deal with superheroes on some level. The closest I've ever gotten, even though it still has superheroes of sorts, was The Watchmen. The Watchmen graphic novel is like the closest I've ever really dabbled in that because they weren't established heroes. What I picked up was issue 1 of The Violent by Ed Brisson. And there's no heroes, there's no superpowers. It's about a guy who, he's been in prison for a couple of years and he's just been released. His girlfriend is taking care of their daughter and this and that. He says, no, I want to stay straight. I don't want to get back into this life of crime that I was a part of. And then he inevitably gets sucked back into it. The girl, she's finding out that she's going to make less money than normal and starts doing coke again. Like she had just gotten clean. An old friend of theirs convinces her to do that. And then issue 1 ends with just this huge shocking twist. And it's like, holy crap. Like, wow, they went ahead and did that in the first issue. Okay. No deaths or anything, but it's just the end is just, it's shocking. It's very much dealing with this family, with this young couple and their child, but showing that they're so influenced by a life of crime and really just the circumstances they find themselves in. It's a good commentary on. I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this. It's a really good commentary on some of the more rundown neighborhoods you'll see. I very much get the vibe. I'm sure it tells me what city it takes place in. I very much I get a Detroit vibe from the series.
Okay.
From the suburbs of Detroit, it's kind of drawn in that style. It's very, very well done, though. I enjoyed issue number 1. I definitely want to get issue 2 is already out. I want to get issue 2 really badly. This is one I can see myself following for a little while. It's kind of hard to make a judgment something like this off of issue 1. It is not a book for kids. There's a lot of swearing in it. There's drugs. There's shootings, things like that. But it's a solid book. I really enjoyed it, getting out of the normal superhero or Star Wars mold that we find ourselves in. This one was definitely one of the better pickups.
Good. I'd like to hear that.
Yeah, and I didn't get this recommended to me by anybody, first off. I did ask the community for some suggestions. Tyler gave me a few, and Elijah gave me a few, actually, that I'm going to check out this week. This one I just kind of picked up on a whim. I saw it and was like, oh, that looks kind of cool. Like the cover got me intrigued.
Yeah.
I flipped through the first couple pages, really like the artwork in it. And this is different. There's no superheroes. It's a real life book. I like that. Not everything has to have powers.
Nope. But okay, so I'm gonna make one just like off the wall suggestion that you should definitely try out. Gail Simon does this book called The Clean Room. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but it's like in the horror-ish vein. Go read it.
Ooh.
You know I don't like that kind of stuff, but this book,
And I don't either. So
reading
if you're recommending it, it's got to be good.
It's good, and it's because I didn't know what to expect, and oh my goodness, it's crazy. But yeah, it's a good one. So that's a good pick. I like that. I like the sound of that.
It was so different.
And that's what I like. I like that we're doing this on the show. It's because we get to talk about something different. So hopefully people do, step outside of their comfort zone and pick up something that they normally wouldn't pick up. Because
right. We don't always want this to be a Marvel and DC affair, even though there's a lot of what we read. We're trying to branch out a little bit more.
Exactly. Like this is also a learning experience for us to get more diverse with our picks. So yeah. Well, my number one is actually from a company that I had never heard of before. I think it's relatively new, actually, as well. But it is called Strayer. I hope I'm saying that right. It's from Aftershock Comics with Justin Jordan and Juan Gedeon. I'm pretty sure that Justin Jordan did Ghost Racers, that really cool Ghost Rider book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did that, but now he's with Aftershock doing some really cool stuff there. Aftershock, not Aftershock, but Strayer is this book. When Joel, who at Astro Kitty first told me about it, I was like, okay. So he told me about a bunch of different books, but this is the only one that kind of like caught my attention because I was like, oh, okay, that sounds really cool. So it's kind of like the world is overrun with monsters, and Strayers kill monsters, but for a fee, of course. So the first thing that my brain went to was The Witcher, and you know how much I love The Witcher.
Oh my god, we're not going through this again.
So when I saw that this is like, it's literally like a wasteland Witcher, I was like, oh hell yeah! Like I have to have this book, and this book is awesome. The artwork is really cool, and like just the premise, like there are these huge. Like, the first book, he's like fighting this ginormous titan, like it's this towering thing that's huge. But I love it. It's really cool. It's really well done. And I'm like, this is actually a book that I'm going to keep reading. Because
That's good.
I really like the idea of this book. It's bloody. It's cool. I mean, I would say that it's rated PG for sure. There's a little bit of blood and stuff in here. I mean, there's no like super serious language, but it's cool. I like it. So definitely go check out Strayer. If you get a chance, and if you want to know how it's spelled or just let me know. I will give you any information you want on this book. I really enjoy it. I like it. So that is our indie comics section this week. If you have any recommendations, like Josh said earlier, please send them to us. Let us know, because there are so many books out there that deserve to be read and deserve to be talked about, but some of them don't, and we're the judge of that. So,
well, before we move on, we have two more segments we want to get to today. We have a question from the audience.
Question.
Yesterday we asked in the Facebook group and on Twitter if anybody had any questions for us. And this one comes from Elijah. His question is, what is your favorite series that you just picked up on a whim while perusing the comic store one day? He says that his is Witches. He saw the trade paperback, knew nothing about it, picked it up, and fell in love with it.
Okay.
Ray, what's your favorite series that you I mean, I guess we can do this across all time, not just the last couple of weeks. So your favorite one you picked up on a whim? My
favorite one that I've just picked up on a whim, man, I have to go back now because I don't really pick things up on a whim anymore. I go in with a mission. So I think what it was, this is back when I was just starting to get back into books. Honestly, it was the 2011 run of Superman. Picked it up on a whim. It was like, I don't know, it was like probably like issue like 20 or something. At the time, Superman was still had all his powers and stuff and was still being Superman. I know this is probably a lame answer, but still, like I hadn't been reading anything. I just decided to go into a comic book store because I was like, I haven't been in a comic book store in a long time. I should go check out and see what's new. And I saw the Superman book. I was very shallow in my pick and picked it solely on the cover. It was a really cool cover, and and I've always loved Superman, so I picked it up and I think I bought almost all of the books from like 2011 to like 2014.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I bought a lot of books, and yeah, so that was the one that I picked up on a whim, and it ended up with me spending a shit ton of money. So thanks, Elijah. You reminded me about how much money I spent, which was a ton. So yeah, how about you, Josh?
I mean, this answer's a little bit difficult for me because I just seriously got back into buying comic books about a year and a half ago. And I'm like Ray, I go in with a mission a lot of times. The one I was really, really surprised by, though, was the run of Magneto directly before Secret Wars.
Oh, yeah.
I had Magneto recommended to me by several people and was like, I don't know. I don't like any of the X-Men books anymore. Avengers versus X-Men kind of ruined the X-Men for me, and then subsequently everything that happened afterwards. And then I was in there one day and I was like, okay, I'm only picking up 1 or 2 issues. I'll get Magneto. I think I bought like Magneto 15 or 16 or something. Mm-hmm. Got hooked, went back and read all the past issues, Marvel Unlimited, the ones I couldn't, I bought,
right.
And then continued it up through Last Days. My other one that I picked up on a whim, though, I just got remembered of this because I forgot. I did not go in with a mission to buy this one. Matt Fraction's Hawkeye.
Oh, yeah, maybe you tell me about that book.
Matt Fraction's Hawkeye. This is the definitive Hawkeye. Like, bar none. He doesn't deal with any of the Avengers in it. It's very much a solo book. The art is the most unique I've seen in a comic, among the most unique I've seen. It's a very noir feel. It's very different, and it led to, I think, a lot of the characterization we're starting to see with Hawkeye in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Mm-hmm. He's pretty much the basis for it. The final issue of that, it's only 21 issues long, the whole run. The final issue of that is among the best single issues I've ever read in a comic ever. Okay. It is the best ending to a run I've ever read. It's up there with the end of Secret Wars and of the new Civil War and everything else. Like it is one of the finest endings. I absolutely loved it. Matt Fraction's Hawkeye, you can get the whole series for like $40-$50 now if you look hard enough.
Right.
Very, 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 very solid run. Even if you don't like Clint Barton, that is the series that made me fall in love with Clint Barton as a character. He's always been good as an ensemble member in the Avengers. This showed he can do a solo book.
Okay.
The right person has to do it.
Yeah, 100%. And I lied. There is a book like that I can remember now that I completely bought on a whim, but it was digital, and then I just went and bought. I bought too many. Uncanny Avengers in 2013.
Oh, yes. Rick Remender.
Yes, Rick Remender and Gary Dugan. Holy crap! I did not expect that book to be as like ridiculous as it was with the Apocalypse Twins and all the other crazy stuff that happened in Red Skull. That was some of the most chilling Red Skull stuff I have ever read.
It was really weird.
It was really weird, but it was deep. I was like, whoa.
What they do with Havoc in that book?
Yes. Oh, man. So, yes, the Uncanny Avengers from 2013. If you can find those, I read them.
It was right when Marvel Now launched is when they started it. Yeah. It kind of went off the rails towards the end, like around Axis time. It really went off the rails. But it's a very, very solid run. I would argue, until everybody started realizing Hickman's Avengers run actually was making sense, it was the best Avengers comic. It was the Avengers comic I was reading at the time. I was reading it when it came out in trades.
Yeah, I remember I picked up a few just digitally because I was like, oh, why not? And then I bought all of the volumes.
I'm so proud of you.
It was ridiculous. So yes, those are the ones I picked up on a whim. So good question, Elijah. We thank you. We love Elijah. Elijah might be on the show soon. Hint, wink, wink. So
Ray, we have a new segment that we wanted to introduce this week. Kind of like one of the final things we were doing to round out the show. Our throwback pick of the week.
Yes, the throwbacks.
The rules to qualify for a throwback is it has to have been out for at least 6 months, and it needs to be a story arc that's already wrapped.
Mm-hmm.
Ray, what is your throwback for this week?
Josh, you should have saw this coming. Like, you know what this is, don't you? Take a wild guess. It's something that I have not mentioned on any of our shows in quite a long time, but you know it's in my heart.
Static Shock!
100% Static Shock. The new 52 run of Static Shock was short. I thought it was pretty good. But, you know, I love everything that has Static Shock in it. Except for the one where he stops being static and goes and he becomes a doctor. And I'm like, whatever, that's not real in my heart. Anyway. Yeah, so New 52 Run of Static was great. I love the artwork in those books. Really cool stuff. So if you can find those, they're actually getting pretty hard to find.
Comixology.
Yeah, Comixology, I think, has most of those. But I had, of course, I had to have the physicals. So I went and bought all the physicals. I think there's 6 or 8 issues. I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but there aren't many.
So it was a real short series.
Really short series. Like, it got canceled because, New 52 had just pretty much vomited comics out and was like, oh no, what did we get rid of? This, and this, and Static was one of them. So I was sad about that, but I think they're pretty decent books. So that is my definite throwback. Good old Static Shock.
I mentioned one already that could have been my throwback for the week, Matt Fraction's Hawkeye, but I'm actually that's not going to be my throwback. Mine is one that I finally picked up and read this past week that I've been wanting to for quite a long time. I'd never gotten around to it. I was a huge proponent of Legendary Star-Lord before Secret Wars.
You were.
Really enjoyed it. I liked it more than I did the Guardians.
That's true. I remember
Legendary Star-Lord, Peter Quill and Kitty Pryde, please, God, I need Kitty Pryde to be in a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. That would just make my life complete if Ellen Page was on screen with Chris Pratt. I need this. I need this to happen. But Star-Lord and Kitty Pryde from Secret Wars is my throwback pick. It's only 3 issues. I never read them. That was one of my most anticipated going into Secret Wars. Never picked up any of the issues. Finally picked up all 3 of them for $1 each this week.
Oh my God.
It's really interesting. When you get to issue 4 in Secret Wars is where Stephen Strange scatters everybody.
Yes.
As he dies. We find out where Peter gets thrown to, and he ends up in New Adelan, basically. Or in Manhattan, excuse me, at Black Bolt's club. He's the singer that is seen in Inhumans Adelan Rising. He's singing Disney songs.
Oh my word! I did not.
He's singing "Part of Your World" from The Little Mermaid.
Oh my God! And
it's hilarious. And then he comes across Kitty Pryde, but it's Age of Apocalypse Kitty Pryde.
Okay.
It's funny. It's funny. It's good. It's a nice little side story that has no huge impact on Battle World. It's fun. It's a fun little read for 3 issues for $3. It was a great pickup. That's my throwback pick. I love any excuse to put Kitty Pryde and Star-Lord in the same book. Not being written by, God forgive me, Brian Michael Bendis. Just please stop writing my Guardians of the Galaxy. Please stop.
I'm okay with that.
I'm not. We have The Thing and Kitty Pryde leading the Guardians right now. There is a clear problem.
What? No, that's not a problem to me.
Although Kitty in that Star-Lord mask is pretty ballin'.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
No, I really enjoyed it. It was a nice little side story. The art is different in it. Really liked it. It's good. It's good. Definitely recommend it.
Okay, good stuff. Okay, so spinning us out of that segment, we have some people ask me about, hey, what's on sale? So usually what I do is I literally just go to Comixology and kind of check what they have on sale because they usually have better sales. Compared to just going to Marvel's page. Well, as you know, it's Valentine's Day weekend, so of course they're having a Valentine's Day sale of a bunch of romance indie comics. There's a Harley Quinn Batman Adventures book that's on sale. There's just a ton of Valentine's Day indie books. Then we get into some really interesting stuff that they decided to put on sale. Like IDW, the deep dive sale is happening. So there's a shit ton of G.I. Joe books on sale. So if you've been meaning to read some G.I. Joe, go pick those up. It'd be great. In addition to that, of course, Deadpool came out this weekend. So they are having a huge Deadpool sale. So if you're a fan of Deadpool, this is the time to go pick up a bunch of his books that came out recently.
That was the one I was going to say. Marvel's doing the same sale, I think. Whenever Marvel does a sale, they give to Comixology also.
Yeah.
Every issue from Deadpool's Marvel Now run is 99 cents, including The Wedding of Deadpool, which was like an $8 or $9 book when it came out.
So yeah, definitely go pick those up.
It's an 87-page book and it's 99 cents.
Excuse me?
I encourage that book for no reason other than it's 99 cents and you're basically paying a penny a page.
My word.
Some of his collected editions are on sale also. The Secret Invasion arc I mentioned earlier is on sale for $3.99. The whole arc, $3.99.
Wow.
Yeah, all 5 or 6 issues in the collected edition. Really good. Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, I think, is on sale also.
Oh my god, I heard that's a really good book.
It's really weird.
Yeah, I heard it's weird, but it's good for Deadpool. So like,
I didn't like some of what happened.
That's okay. It's Deadpool. I mean, were you supposed to love everything that happened?
No, it's just so weird. The best was there's one. It's him and Old Cap teaming up.
Oh my word!
It looks like Old Cap is beating somebody with a cane.
As it should be. Oh god.
It's pretty good, but yeah.
In addition to that sale, this one was interesting, and I might pick up a few from this sale. Dark Horse has a gaming sale going on, so there's a bunch of video game comic books on sale. So like Halo, Mass Effect, Plants vs. Zombies, Tomb Raider, Call of Duty, Dragon Age. There's a ton of video.
They do The Witcher also, I believe.
Oh, I did not know that. But apparently, like I think it's Eve Valkyrie has a few comics as well. Mirror's Edge. Like I was impressed. So like, yeah, go check those out.
Definitely, and I think we have one more thing to talk about real fast before we spin out of the whole show. What's coming up that we're looking forward to in the coming months?
Oh, Doctor.
In the next month and a half. We're halfway through February, so what's coming out between now and probably about this time next March. If there's any new series debuting that we're excited about, do we have anything on the docket that we're getting really pumped?
Well, there's 2 things that I'm really looking forward to. But they kind of extended until like April in the summer. We're supposed to be getting something from Milestone for, I don't know, either Static or any of the other characters they have at some point this year. I remember DC saying that, look, they were coming out with something, and we haven't heard anything.
We covered it on the main show.
Yeah, which you should listen to still. We haven't heard anything, and I'm kind of like, all right, you told me you were going to give me something. Please give me something. I need this. So I'm looking for anything Static, Icon, Hardware, any of that. Bring back Blood Syndicate. Good God, something. And between that and Black Panther, like that, I need those. I need those books. Not that I need them to live. I just need them to breathe. Like I need these books to exist. We know that Panther's on the horizon. I guess, I don't know. I'm getting oddly invested into this Panther book. Like I am getting nervous at the same time as I am excited.
Yeah, we've both been, I don't know if you guys really understand the excitement that we have for this. Ray's been a fan of Black Panther for a long time. I've only recently gotten into him in the past year or two. Really, Hickman's Avengers run is what inspired me to go back and read a ton of Panther. I've become really invested into it. One of my favorite commentators on political and racial culture in America, Tanishi Coates, is who's writing it.
Mm-hmm.
That excites me so much that Marvel's reaching outside of the typical writers to go do this. I mean, they have some faith in someone like that to write Black Panther. It's going to be a premier book. The other one that I'm really looking forward to is Avengers Standoff.
Oh, okay.
Which is coming really soon. If you ever heard of Avengers Standoff, it's basically be like, the Avengers being blamed for a lot of things. It's going to be the catalyst for Civil War II and for the new Thunderbolts coming back.
Oh,
led by Bucky Barnes. Bucky is at the center of all of this again.
Which is so weird to me. Like, go away, Bucky. You know I hate you, but that's okay. I'll
love you. No. Bucky's my boy. Bucky Barnes is my boy.
If I had to pick Bucky and Hunter, I'd pick Bucky. Just saying.
Why do you do this? Why are you the way that you are?
Because I love who I am. It's great. So yeah, I'm excited for that too. That'll be fun.
Yeah, those are the two pickups. And I'm really looking forward to see what DC does, continuing with Justice League's Dark Side War arc.
Yeah. How long is that
I've talked about two of the issues on this. I have no idea. I don't follow DC that much. I pick it up whenever I see it. It's been about a month since those issues came out, so I think this next week is when we get new stuff.
Okay, because yeah, they came out with like what 7 new #1s for that book.
Yeah, I don't think that they're ongoing series, so they all kind of end on the same panel.
Okay,
I think they were one shots.
Gotcha.
I really, really, really want to see what happens because I read the Flash and Batman books. I picked up Superman last week, but I wasn't a huge fan of the Superman. It takes a lot to get me into Superman, period.
Right.
I'm not a huge Supes guy. And I really want to read. They did Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and Shazam also. I want to read one. Oh, Lex Luthor has one. They did. Yeah. See, my shop did not have Lex Luthor that I saw. Unless it was just completely sold out, which is totally plausible.
Yeah.
I really want to read the Green Lantern and Wonder Woman ones just to see what happened in those. But this actually has me really invested in a way that Convergence never got me interested. And the other one I really want to start diving into is Batman Beyond.
Wait, yes. Okay. I have to write this down because
there's a Batman Beyond ongoing series. I just realized this, so I really want to get invested into it. Batman Beyond was my favorite cartoon as a child. Terry McGinnis, Will Friedle.
I will.
Okay, God bless you.
I'm not gonna I don't know if I'm spoiling this or not, but I don't think that it's Terry McGinnis.
It's not Terry.
Okay, so all right. Yeah,
no,
not Terry.
I had to ruin that for myself and be like, it's probably not going to be Terry. So I had to come to terms with that. But anyone in that costume again, that's so exciting.
It's my favorite Batman suit.
It's my favorite bat suit. It's my favorite Batman. So sue me. Right, Return of the Joker was awesome.
It was awesome. I love that. It was great.
Yep. Ray, do we have anything else to talk about before we close out the show?
No, I don't know. I guess I would like to start getting ready for these big event comic books because I think we're going to do spoiler casts for all of the big events as long as we think that they're good. So we might, depending on how Darkseid Wars turns out, we might start talking about that more because it does seem really interesting. I'm going to try and find that Batman book again today at the store, and if I don't find it, I'm just going to get it online and read it that way because it sounds really interesting. So
it was an interesting take on Batman.
Yeah. So, I mean, I really want to hear back from you guys. Let us know if you guys want us to kind of get more into, like, reviewing the stories from these books, or you okay with just us telling you what we picked up and why we're excited about it, because I will love to do either one of those things or both of them. So
help us to help you.
Yeah, seriously. Like, we want this show to keep growing because you guys, I received it really well, and I'm really appreciative. So, all right, we'll keep this up. But for now, we're going to keep reading these books, and we'll find some other books to bring to you guys next week, I guess. Well, not next week. The week after that. 2 weeks. Also, if you guys want us to do this show more often, let us know because, I don't know, like, we like the schedule it is right now, but it could be coming out a little too late for some of you guys. I don't know. But let us know. Feedback is great. So, all right, Josh, say goodbye to the people.
Bye, people.
I'm so glad you said exactly that. We'll talk to you soon. All right, go find some more cool books to read and let us know. Talk with you later.